In a moment, we'll be discussing the idea. First, though, here's what some visitors to Buckingham Palace thought.
I don't see them. So it really doesn't matter to me whether they're here or not.
If they were to open up for the public and have a museum or something dedicated to the royal history or something of sort, that would be really good.
This is, you know, where the royal family live. It's all part of, you know, the life of the British monarchy. And I just feel it would be terrible if this became a hotel.
She's probably living somewhere else at the moment anyway, Sandringham or, you know, he's very rarely here, I guess.
If they weren't there, then yeah, it'd be a good opportunity to look around and see what's really going on there.
We've only come today for them, that's why we're here, and if they didn't live here, we wouldn't. I don't think you'd necessarily come for the architecture.
Well, watching out with Simon Rodway, a London tour guide, and Dr. Kate Williams, a royal historian. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
How long has it been a royal home, actually, Kate?
Well, it was initially bought by George III for his wife, and the royal family lived there quite a lot. And then they lived there off and on, but it wasn't until Queen Victoria in 1837 that she actually made it the royal residence. And after that, it's been completely associated with the royal family, particularly with Elizabeth II. It's really her home.
Simon, you show people around or to Buckingham Palace all the time. How much affection is it held in, and would it matter whether or not the royal family lived there?
Oh, I think it's a huge icon. Anyone coming into London, you'll pick them up at Heathrow and you'll run them into their hotels. They will want to stop outside Buckingham Palace for a photo opportunity. It's just integral, really, to royal London.
And does it matter that the Queen is there or still lives there?
Not at all. No, it matters that there's royalty there, because we can play that game. Is she there or is she not? Is the flag flying and all that sort of thing. So people love all that.
So much of the sort of central architecture of the city, if you like, leads, though, to Buckingham Palace, doesn't it? You've got the Mall and Birdcage Walk and the road down also from a Hyde Park corner. It would be tearing the heart out of the capital in a sense to move the royal family away, wouldn't it?
Well, you know, I think we have to think carefully about what we want from our royals. Buckingham Palace, it's beautiful, it's massive, but historically no one's ever wanted to live there. It's been drafty, it's impossible to heat, you can't clean the windows, pipes break open.
You can't clean the windows?
Well, no, not in Victorian times. Prince Albert was exasperated by how the windows were never quite clean. It was just so annoying for his Germanic efficiency. So the Buckingham Palace has constantly been somewhere that royals haven't really been that keen on living in, and it is now an incredibly inefficient building. It eats up heat, it eats up power, and if we want a kind of royal family who are rather different, less pompous, more humble, living in somewhere rather more low-key, do we want them living in this great big building?
I mean, what's the alternative? You talk about rather more low-key. Windsor Castle is not exactly low-key, is it?
It's not low-key, but it's not as grand and pompous as Buckingham Palace. And Buckingham Palace is also incredibly expensive. The Queen has said before that she can't afford to keep it up, and as we're going forwards in Cleaton, I don't think we're going to have more money for the Queen. The Straighten World, will we be even able to keep it up for them?
Simon, one could argue that your opposition to such an idea is based on commercial interest, because it would be bad for your business, wouldn't it?
The last time a Royal Charles tried to turn his back on his capital and moved everyone to Oxford, it ended in tears.
For Charles I?
Exactly, yes. and, you know, the guard change, we have to know that those guards mounting that guard change are actually guarding someone. And then you've got the railings, you know, they're hardwired into British sentiment, really, those railings. Every time there's a catastrophe, people head for those Buckingham Palace railings.
Kate, I'm also interested in, if this were to happen, what would it say about Charles, the fact that he personally doesn't want to live there? Does it say something about him, do you think?
Well, absolutely right, Lisa. I mean, it is about Charles. This is Charles setting up a new court. He's sweeping out the old court. He wants to be a new person, because Buckingham Palace is so associated with Elizabeth II. She grew up there, she was had a little girl guide packed there, everything. And he wants to be someone completely new, and historically, monarchs have always said no to the previous buildings.
It's the focal point of Britain, though, isn't it? Of the United Kingdom. Whenever there's a big event, like a wedding, or as Simon mentioned, if there's a bad news, sometimes people congregate there. How are people going to congregate in Windsor? Because there's no room. You could walk up the hill and there's no grand sweeping view, is there?
Well, I mean, when Edward VII got married in Windsor, there were so many complaints that no one could get there, and the bishop got stuck on the train, and it was just too small a village. But I think, I mean, I'd be really surprised if Charles didn't live in Buckingham Palace eventually. But I think this suggests that he's going to move his focus away from the palace, and that's going to be more of with offices, and he's going to be perhaps more of a king of a countryside.
But if he gets turned into a hotel, that is a one-way ticket for the royals,
that
isn't it?
I really doubt. I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe it's just more of an official residence, and Charles will spend more time in the country. He prefers the country, I think, himself.
And Sam, just tell us briefly, I mean, visitors are allowed into parts of Buckingham Palace, aren't they? How much would you like to see the rest of it, though?
There was a talk by Terry Farrell when Diana died of actually punching more archways through the eastern block and opening the garden up. Of course, it's a huge garden, 40 acres. And confine the royals into one wing. But you have to say confined, yeah. But it's very defendable as well. It's on a huge traffic island, much more defendable than Windsor Castle for state visits.
All right. Thank you both very much. Okay. Interesting.
Just one email before we go. This is from Sam. The Swedish royal family has lived in a small house next to the Royal Palace in Stockholm for 25 years, and the Swedish Queen has a full-time profession as a GP. Charles is showing he is far more modern than he's given credit for.
Thank you very much for those. It's coming up to 7:45. This is Breakfast These